Hey there, Facebook friends. How are you today? Thank you for joining me on this Tuesday at 2:30. It's awesome to have you here. If you wouldn't mind, is when you come in, if you would like the show and share the show so that we can get this message out to as many people as possible. I am doing the same right now. There we go. I have located this. Let's share this over to a page, sharing it to long-term wellness. Get those folks over here, and also sharing this to my private group. Been there, done that, now I'm ready. It's a group that was designed to support your health and wellness. And it's designed for a group of folks that have been there and done that. They've done everything they could, and they still are not feeling the way that they want to feel. And they know that it's time to do something different. Been there, done that, now I'm ready. All right, I've done my sharing. I trust that you have done the same. Travis is here. Thank you so much. All the way from sunny California. Ashley is here. Thank you for being here. Mira Desi just joined. Thank you so much for being here. All the way from Houston. Lisa Green is here from North Carolina. I got it almost coast. I do coast to coast, California to North Carolina. I wonder if that's a first. Probably not. But thank you so much for being here. My name is Melissa Crispell. I am the host of the Perk Integrative Health live show every Tuesday at 2:30, bringing you information and inspiration surrounding our products and services. For those of you that are new, Perk Integrative Health is the beautiful marriage of Perk Nutraceuticals and ELISA Act Biotechnologies, home of the gold standard food and chemical sensitivity test. Today we're talking about the house being on fire. That used to be a chant at our football games. Actually, it was the roof was on fire. Y'all know that one? Drop a 1 down there if you know what I'm talking about. The roof is on fire. But the house is on fire. Why do I say that? Because we're talking about inflammation. All month we've been talking about inflammation. Hopefully you got to see some interviews with Dr. Jaffe, interview with Dr. McGuckin. You got to see my seated Qigong demonstration last week. I hope that you're doing some of those things. Let's talk about how do we even know that we have inflammation? How do we know the house is on fire? We don't have, a beeper system or an alarm system like we do in the house, but we do have lab work. Lab work can be your alarm system. And once a year, let's check those batteries just like we do in our home. C-reactive protein is a substance that the liver makes in response to inflammation. The CRP test measures how much of this protein is in the blood. Now, there is a difference between CRP testing and hsCRP testing. The HSC, the high sensitivity C-reactive protein test, is looking at 0.5 to 10 milligrams per liter. And the CRP is looking at much larger amounts, 10 to 1,000 milligrams per liter. So at LRA or at ELISA Act Biotechnologies, when you run your LRA test, you can run the hsCRP next to that. You can run vitamin D, you can run homocysteine, you can run hemoglobin A1C, you can run omega-3, omega-3/6 index, you can run the aoxoguanine, and you can buy a pH test kit so you can test your own first morning urine. Those are what we call our predictive biomarkers. When you apply the best outcome goal value to those biomarkers, you are able to predict what the next 10 years of your life will look like. How cool is that? So hsCRP is kind of thought of as a cardiac risk measurement, but that CRP test doesn't determine where the inflammation is, right? Every body is different, so there can be inflammation anywhere. Some conditions that may cause you to have an elevated hsCRP are IBS, atherosclerosis, diabetes, having a sedentary lifestyle, being a cigarette smoker. There's a lot of risk factors there. And looking at that hsCRP, looking at that as the marker of inflammation alongside of your LRA test, because if you have food and chemical sensitivities, chances are there's some inflammation there because you're creating or having an immune response to very common things that you're exposed to quite frequently. So what level do we need to have? For the best outcome, the goal value is less than 0.5. Now that's the absolute best. That's what we're shooting for. The thing is that you can't really do anything that directly affects that CRP. It's not like, oh, I have a high CRP, let me take this. Like when you have a low 25-OHD or low vitamin D, you know I need to take enough vitamin D each day to get me into the 50 to 80 range because that's the best outcome goal value. It's not like, oh, my CRP is high, I'm going to take this. You have to dig a little deeper and find out where that inflammation is, what's happening, so that's why I say it's used kind of as your fire alarm. It's letting you know there's a problem. We need to dig a little deeper. How are we going to address that? What are we going to do? First of all, we're going to run the LRA by ELISA ACT test. We're going to eliminate or substitute those reactive items. We're going to eat the foods that we can easily digest, assimilate, and eliminate without immune burden. That's number one. We're not waiting until the end. We're not waiting until we've tried everything else and, oh yeah, okay, now we'll go ahead and do the LRA test. We're doing that first. We're looking at the omega-3 index. We're looking at the omega-3/6 ratio. We're going to take EPA, DHA, those fish oils, those omega-3s, help reduce inflammation, right? We're going to do that based on that best goal outcome or best outcome goal number, right? We want that omega-3 to be above 8. And we're going to take the EPA, DHA that we need based on those results. We're going to look at vitamin D. We're going to take enough vitamin D, and I'm going to take Perks D3 Cell Guard, and I hope you are doing the same. Taking enough of that vitamin D, enough of those drops each and every day to get you in that 50 to 80 range. For some people, that's going to be 5 drops. For some people, that's going to be 10 drops. For some people, that's going to be a different amount of drops. You're going to take what you need to get your body into the 50 to 80 range. You're going to start moving. We're going to stop that sedentary lifestyle. We're going to stop that sitting behind a desk or sitting at that computer over day in and day out, over and over and over again. We're going to stop with, working with our ears or our shoulders attached to our ears. We're going to start with some fun, sweaty activities. You can call it exercise if you want to, but that doesn't sound as fun. We just need to move. It doesn't have to be running 5 miles or biking 50 miles. If you like that, certainly go for it. But it's really, really simple. Play ping pong. Get outside and shoot some golf. Walk around the golf course instead of getting in the little buggy. Although driving the buggy is kind of fun. And I think my husband calls it a golf cart, not a buggy, but I'm going to call it a buggy. Next thing we're going to do is salt and soda baths. Salt and soda. Epsom salts. 1 cup of Epsom salts, 1 cup of baking soda. Put that in your warm water. You're going to soak in there for 20 minutes. If you could do it every night before bed, that's brilliant. If you could do it 2 or 3 times a week, and that's the best that you can do, go with it. Good, better, best, and then we love it, bless it, and move on. We're going to get involved in some sort of meditation, prayer, or spiritual grounding to quiet the chatter up here. Let's reduce that stress response. Reduce that stress response. You've probably heard me talk about this a bajillion times, but if you've forgotten, go check out Insight Timer. It's an app. It's totally free. Has a bajillion different meditations. You can listen to just sounds, nature sounds, soundscapes, oceans, birds, whatever you want. You could have a guided meditation if you're struggling with something specific. Get a guided meditation to help you there. Reduce the stress response surrounding whatever it is you're dealing with. That's the overall goal, is reducing that stress response. And sleep. 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, whatever your hours are, whatever is good for your body, you do it. A good starting point is 8 hours. But if you get 7 hours consistently and you feel rested when you wake up, you're not exhausted at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, then maybe 7 hours is your number. 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever it is your number. Do it. Hydrate. Hydration is important. I'm not going to go into all the points of why hydration is important. If you're here watching this, y'all already know. Half your body weight in ounces is the standard. If you're not doing that yet, but you are, say you're doing 3 bottles. That's great. That's a great start. Tomorrow, drink 4. And when you can do 4 consistently for a couple of days, then drink 5, if that's how much you need, whatever you need. I choose to drink out of this. So I call it a bottle of water, but it's not, like a commercial bottle of water. And it is 15 ounces. So it's just a little bit less than, a bottle of water that you buy at the store. So that's how I measure what I'm drinking. And when I say I've had 7 bottles of water, I mean these things. Last but absolutely not the least, look into Repair Guard, made by Perk, believe it or not. Perk Repair Guard is formulated with quercetin dihydrate. That's a plant pigment that's been shown to reduce allergic and inflammatory responses. It helps to reduce oxidative stress, and it naturally helps to improve your comfort level if you're in pain. So it's not just the anti-inflammatory, but it stimulates and promotes healing by activating the cells that are responsible for your body's repair. If you have food and chemical sensitivities, you need to repair. The body needs to repair. If we have an elevated hsCRP, the body needs some attention. It needs to repair. And that's the whole goal of the show today. The house is on fire. Let's look at that hsCRP, order that alongside your LRA by ELISA ACT test, and start doing those things that overall encompass the mind, body, and spirit to help reduce inflammation and invoke that healing response that we all naturally have. So you can take a look at the LRA by ELISA ACT test, the hsCRP test, the vitamin D, the omega-3, the omega-3/6 index, Repair Guard, and vitamin D. Those are all the things that we have covered, today. Oh, Tracy's here from South Carolina. Hey there. Lisa says, good afternoon. Let's put the fire out. That's right. Put the fire out. You got to dig in there and find out what's causing the fire. What's the problem? All right, y'all. Thank you so much for being with me. Today was kind of a quick show, running through those products and running through those tests. If you have any questions, feel free to drop those down in the box or send us a private message. We'll be glad to get you an answer. If you have a question specifically for me or for Dr. Jaffe, just put that in the subject line, question for Melissa, question for Dr. Jaffe. I'll get you that answer from him. Don't worry about that. I kind of have that connection. I'll give him a call or shoot him a text. Thank y'all so much for being here. We're heading into May, starting tomorrow. May is Mother's Day, and we're going to start talking about some bone health and the things that you can do to help strengthen that bone so that you don't become, ladies, if you're watching here, you don't become the 1 in 2 in this country that are affected by osteoporosis. So we want to help you out. All right, y'all. I will be back next Tuesday at 2:30. Take care. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.